So tell me about your goals for this set session.
Well, I think my goals were to show that SET is a really rich playground with lots of questions that can be thought of geometrically, algebraically, combinatorially, algebraically, and that there's just a ton of really great things there, and it's fun.
Great. So how do you think it went today?
I think it went really well. I was very happy with it. I haven't done it quite that way before, but I liked sort of the way it flowed, the way it was organized. I felt like we didn't ever sort of get stopped up in places. They answered the question about what's the probability that 3 cards are a set, and that was nice. I think people really liked that. And then I think they liked the geometry and the analogies with regular geometry. And then at the end, we split into 5 or 6 groups, which is kind of AIM style of doing things. And so I like the fact that that actually worked. And I think people did find their comfort levels. Some people just wanted to play SET because they hadn't played before. And other people wanted to do, combinatorial counting things, which I was pretty sure there would be some people that want to do that. And some people wanted to sort of lay out the whole SET universe in a scrambled up way. And that was really cool.
Is there anything that you might do differently next time you do this session?
Let's see. I can't think of anything right now. I think it actually covered the things I was hoping to. There's always a stress of time to get through. Not exactly get through things. I mean, you want to do things, but you want the people out there to do them, and so there's always this tension between what you do and what you let them do and how much time. But I think it all went pretty well. It seems like people were happy with it.
What kind of advice would you give to someone who is going to lead a session on SET?
Well, I think there's lots of different ways to do SET sessions, and you almost can't go wrong. I mean, in some ways, even if you just played SET the whole time, that's not a horrible thing. It's such a great game, and kids are so good at it that having teachers love the game, get into the game, and like it, I think in some ways is probably the most important thing. And then beyond that, there's just such a wealth of problems. I mean, I first learned the game 20 years ago, and probably for the first 5 or 10 years I just played it. And then later on started thinking about like all the different mathematical questions and saw how useful I tried it out with middle school kids, doing math counts and things like that, counting different things, and just began to realize sort of how rich the whole thing was. And then eventually got inspired by a beautiful article of Davis and McLaughlin in the Math Intelligencer that shows that 21 cards always has a set in it. And it was just incredible. And that's the thing that I think really got me interested much more in doing SET. And then building the SET contraption that shows the geometry, that really shows off the 4-dimensional geometry of the thing. That's a point I always like to get to, and it's not necessarily easy to get people to say, it's 4 dimensions. I mean, in this case, there were mathematicians in the audience, and so they came up with that answer. But I think it makes sense. Once you see that it is, and you realize a dimension is just, a coordinate or a characteristic in this case, and there's 4 characteristics, and that's your 4 dimensions, then all of a sudden it expands, I think, your geometric intuition into a place where you might feel like you have some insight into what a 4-dimensional world is.
That's great. Is there anything else you want to add about the session?
No, I don't think so. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. It's fun to see grown-ups get down on the floor and make the the SET T-shirt.
Right.
I was I think happiest that the groups at the end seemed to be enjoying what they were doing. So I thought that was cool.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.